Buzz's Retirement Garage on a beautiful, sunny, warm day in Cleveland, Ohio. Draft day. Hopefully the Browns pick a good player, and I have something at the end of this video to show you. Especially if you watched the movie Draft Day with Kevin Costner, and my brother didn't watch it. So I told him he's got to go see it. He's got to rent it, buy it, whatever he has to do, but he's got to watch Draft Day. Anyway, I have 4 things that I have figured out during retirement that I've been able to cut back on. And the first one was happened to me was because T-Mobile, my cell phone carrier, decided to start charging us $5 more a line. So for me and Mrs. Buzz, that was $10. And at $10, that's, that's for the same service. That's a cost I just didn't want to absorb. So T-Mobile basically pushed me out of their plan. And I went to, after looking at different plans, I went to Mint Mobile. Now, Verizon also has their own plan called Visible, which a lot of people like, but I went with Mint. So I have a lot of papers to show you today. But Mint Mobile, so we were paying $64, including taxes, when we were with T-Mobile. We also had their internet, and still have their internet, which we were paying $41.40 a month. And we've kept that, and I assume that price is going to be the same. I haven't received a new charge yet to see if that's going to stay the same or not, because we discontinued our phone lines. But Mint Mobile, which I went with, you can see this paper. Freeze your screen if you need to. But I went with the 15 gig plan, and here's the trick. They'll give you 3 months for the $15 or $20. So $15 is for 5 gigabytes. $20 is for 15 gigabytes. Now I went with the 15 because I do upload videos. I do use my music app when I'm driving. So I wanted to test it out to see how much gigabytes I really need. And I've accomplished 1 month so far, or finished 1 month, and I only used about 1.5 gigs. So the 5 gig plan so far seems like it's going to be the better bet. But if you look at this, at my renewal, in order to get the $15 a month, you have to pay for 12 months. You can pay 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. But if you pay for 12 months, you'll get the cheapest price. Now, we've said this before, Mint Mobile is on the same towers as T-Mobile. So I knew T-Mobile worked well for me in my area. So going to Mint Mobile was, for me, a better choice than to go into Visible or some of the other cell phone carriers who bounce towers and do different things. So this is something, so from $64, I'm going to be down to $15 plus Mrs. Buzz. We got her a track phone, and I paid $127.68 for 1 year, which gave her like 1,000 minutes. It gave her some texts, and it gave her like 1 gig of internet. Now, she doesn't use her cell phone, so this may not be for everybody, but for $127.68, which gave her a new phone, a little flip phone type thing, that's about $10.60 something a month. So let's just call it $10 for right now. And my 15, we're at $25 a month, 26 if you want to call it that. And compared to $64. So $64 down to 26. Now your initial, when you start with Mint, your initial startup cost is about $6.64, I think, is a charge that they charge you. So it's not straight $15 or straight $20. There is a slight charge at the startup. And that's probably to pay for the SIM card or the eSIM. You can get an eSIM if your phone can accept that. So that was one of the big things that And T-Mobile pushed us into this. Otherwise, we would have kept paying $64 for unlimited service, unlimited text. And again, with her not using her phone as much, and me scared because I upload videos and I do different things that's not connected to my Wi-Fi, I thought maybe, you know, having unlimited would be better. But it's proving out to be not to be the case. So that's a substantial savings for us in retirement. Number two, and I got my papers. And let's just stick with this too. So T-Mobile Internet. I was paying $70 through Cox Cable for their internet. And, you know, yeah, it goes a million miles an hour, whatever. But they didn't have a lower plan. At least they didn't tell me they did. So I went with the T-Mobile Internet. And now what's interesting to me is just yesterday I got this from Mint Mobile. So if you sign up with Mint Mobile, you can get the T-Mobile Internet. So that's through Mint Mobile. You can get the T-Mobile Internet for $35 a month plus taxes, and it says it's lock in your price for 5 years guaranteed. Now, some people with T-Mobile had a guaranteed plan as well, and there's a class action suit, at least a few of them, against T-Mobile. So I don't know if that's going to hold water, but that's what they're advertising. So through Mint Mobile, if you have Mint, you can get the T-Mobile Internet for $35 a month. Now, I've had it for, since the Super Bowl, or just before the Super Bowl? So February, January I probably got it. It's not as fast as my cable internet, but I upload videos. Instead of 10 minutes to upload a video, it takes me 25. And that's how I can kind of tell the speed that I'm getting. Now, we don't use, we're not hooked to all these gizmos. We don't have a lot of things hooked up. The TV, we have a Roku, and those are basically the only things. My laptop, if I use the Wi-Fi, those are the only things on Wi-Fi. So we're not a big user of Wi-Fi, but for this price to go from, in my case, $41.40 with taxes, so to go from 70 down to $41.40, that's a good deal. So that was the second thing. The third thing is I just started, as some of you know who watch my Social Security, end of the month Social Security videos where I write down my expenses versus my Social Security income, me and Mrs. Buzz's income. We do that every month, and we have for over a year. And we've been pretty successful with keeping our expenses down. And the only way we can do that is to keep our expenses down is to track them. And I track them in the Every Dollar app, which is a Dave Ramsey app. I don't pay anything for it. I have the free version. And it's just so easy for me to, once I buy something, whether it be with a credit card, cash, whatever, to just open up the app, pop it in there, and then at the end of the month, I look at all my credit card statements, which is a good habit to have, individually, I should say, individual transactions, and I match them up to the app to make sure I didn't forget anything. And so we're successful doing that. And my car insurance through State Farm for my 2018 vehicle is $56 a month. And I just got a new statement from them, and it looks like it's staying at $56. But I've been toying with the idea of using that app that they have, the Drive app, where you put the little square gizmo. I just mounted it on my dashboard, and it's supposed to track your driving. Now, some people are totally against that. I'm retired. I don't go far. I can't get a better discount than the $56 a month, according to my agent. This is the only way to do it. They say you can get up to 30% off if everything, all the stars and the moon and the planets align. But as soon as I signed up for the app, it gave me a $29 discount. Yeah, it's not a lot, but hey, 29 bucks is 29 bucks. So that automatically discounted just for signing up. Now I'm sure that's probably a one-time deal, but so how it looks through State Farm is it tells me my miles, and as you can see so far, now I've just hooked it up the other day, so I don't have too many miles on this, actually only 7 miles, but it was a couple different trips, you know, to the post office. I actually went to the police station yesterday because we found a dog, and he was like a small pony, to tell you the truth, and took him to the police station because nobody was out looking for him. But he did get claimed, so that was good. But as you can see, my braking, my cornering, no phone distraction, but my acceleration, 63. Boy, I tell you, when as soon as I saw it, you know, I'm gonna have to just like go really, like when you're pulling out at a stop sign or a light, you know, how slow do you have to go? I don't know, but I'm gonna have to figure that out. But I love getting the 100 grade, but I wasn't happy to see the 63 grade. That's not good. How that translates into savings, I don't have a clue, but I'll keep updating you guys every month to see how this works out for me. So that's 3. And then the 4th one probably won't apply to everybody. But there's in Cuyahoga County in Ohio, and most of Ohio, and other states too, have something like this, but it's called the homestead exemption. And with the homestead exemption, I can get $28,000 exempted from my home value. So when they do your property taxes, they look at your home value, and then there's a calculation based on a lot of things that gives you your property tax amount. So this is going to take from that, I call it the retail value, your market value. It's going to take $28,000 off of that market value, and then it's going to look at and recalculate and give you a lower property tax. Now I pay my property taxes twice a year. They're going to look at my tax statement, and they're going to look at how much I made for last year, which is when I was a full Social Security and YouTube income. So they're going to look back at that, and I can make up to the income threshold for 2024 for the 2025 tax year is $40,000. So, and they do not. This is a big key, because this is my opinion, not the state, but Cuyahoga County hides this fact, or they're not very open with it. It does not include Social Security. So we're bringing in a little over $45,000 a year in Social Security. Disregard that. So my YouTube income was $18,000 last year, so I'm well under the income. Now they do, both of you, so if you're with somebody and you have a spouse, dual ownership, home ownership, they will look at her income as well, which she just has Social Security. So I'll definitely fall below that income level. And so I should be able to get that $28,000 relief for hopefully on my July taxes. Like I said, we pay twice a year. And so those are some of the savings between the internet, the phone, car insurance, trying to help there. We'll see what happens. Those are just a few of the things that we're looking at. And of course, on our Social Security income, a lot of people point out to me that, you know, there's other areas that I could cut, such as food, you know, but I like my food. And, you know, we're trying to do our best with the utilities, even though I think it's next month or in June, a bunch of states are going to get hit with an electrical charge, not figurative, or not literally, but figuratively. They're going to get hit with an electrical charge from JPM, which is a major distributor. So they say that's going to up your electric bill 10%. And that's not the cost of your electricity. That's just going to be like transmission costs from what I understand. So get ready for that if you're in those 7 states. I did a video about that a while ago. Also linked another video that explains it a little better, but don't be surprised when that hits. And last but not least, if you watch draft day, and you know today at 8 o'clock is the NFL draft, if you can read this, if you know, you know. Happy birthday, Richard. Hope all of you are doing well. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you on a Saturday Night Live. We do every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there if you can, and take care. Bye.